Bill Rhea running for Congress. We're at the shooting range. This is about the Second Amendment, and I've got to be able to hear myself, so I'm going to take these off. Bill Rhea running for Congress. Let's talk a little bit about the Second Amendment. Bottom line, I love to be practical, common sense. I'm a lawyer, I was a judge. The bad news or the good news, depending on how you view it, is the Second Amendment is not actually under attack. It would take 2/3 of the Senate, the House, and 38 states to do anything to the Second Amendment. The reality is only two questions, and those two questions are, who's going to set reasonable restrictions, and what are those restrictions going to be? Antonin Scalia, the most pro-gun justice we will ever have on the Supreme Court, upheld the individual right to bear arms, but he also said that doesn't mean there are not going to be reasonable restrictions on that right, as any other constitutional right. So I don't want to be fighting the wrong fight here. Nobody's coming to take our guns away. That's just not going to happen. We need to talk about reasonable restrictions. Now, I think that's going to be done community by community. We are probably not going to be able to reach a national consensus on that issue, but we can reach consensus state by state. Colorado is going to have different restrictions, probably fewer restrictions than is Connecticut or New York, and maybe that's as it should be. I'm Bill Rhea. I will fight for reasonableness and common sense in Washington. I'm the wild card in this race. I'm for you. I'm for Second Amendment people. I'm for this country, for this district, and I'm excited about serving you. Thanks for listening. If you happen to be unaffiliated or Republican, you've got the ballot in hand and you can send a reasonable voice to Washington. Thank you so much for listening. Rhea, wild card. That's who I am. Thanks.